Deep in a valley, nestled between emerald hills, lay the village of Willow Creek. The river was its lifeblood, a ribbon of silver cascading over moss-covered rocks. On its banks, a young boy named Kai was known as the river's child. Kai could handle a boat like he was born in one. He knew every ripple, every eddy, every secret the river held. With his calloused hands on the oars, he was one with the current. He navigated the rapids with a grin, his laughter echoing through the valley. His little boat, the Osprey, was his pride. Crafted from sturdy oak by his grandfather, it had weathered many storms. The Osprey responded to Kai's touch like a loyal steed, swift and sure. Life in Willow Creek was simple, a tapestry woven with the rhythm of the river, but nature, as always, held the power to disrupt this harmony. The day began like any other, the sun a warm caress on the village. Kai, filled with the boundless energy of youth, spent hours exploring the upper reaches of the river. As the sun dipped below the western hills, the sky turned a sickly shade of green. The wind, usually a gentle whisper, began to moan through the trees. The first fat raindrops fell, heavy and cold. Exhaustion tugged at Kai. He hadn't realized how far he'd rowed. He steered the Osprey towards a small, sheltered cove, a familiar haven during his river adventures. The storm intensified, the wind howling like a banshee. Curling up in the bottom of the Osprey, Kai closed his eyes, lulled by the rhythmic roar of the river. He drifted into a restless sleep, unaware of the danger lurking just around the bend. The storm raged through the night, unleashing its fury upon Willow Creek. The river, once serene, transformed into a raging torrent. Unseen, unheard, a large branch, ripped from the bank by the wind, slammed into the Osprey's mooring rope. The rope snapped. The little boat, caught in the grip of the current, was swept away. Kai slept on, oblivious to the danger, cradled in the heart of the storm. The Osprey, now a tiny speck in the maelstrom, was hurtled downstream towards the roaring cataract that lay hidden in the mists further downriver. Section 4, a village in fear. Dawn broke over a scene of devastation. The storm had passed, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. The villagers emerged from their battered homes, their faces etched with worry. When they saw the Osprey's empty mooring, their hearts turned to ice. A collective gasp swept through the crowd. Everyone knew what lay downstream, the treacherous waterfalls, a churning cauldron of white water. "Kai!" The cry tore through the air, filled with fear and desperation. The villagers raced along the banks of the flooded river, their cries swallowed by the roar of the water. Section 5. A moment of truth. A jolt. The Osprey shuddered violently, throwing Kai awake. He sat up, disoriented, his heart pounding like a drum in his chest. Reality slammed into him. He was no longer in the safety of the cove. The roar he heard was not the storm, but the deafening symphony of the waterfalls, now terrifyingly close. Fear threatened to paralyze him, but Kai was the river's child. This was his domain, and he would not surrender to panic. He scrambled to his feet, his eyes scanning the raging torrent ahead. He knew this stretch of the river like the back of his hand. There on the left, a sliver of rock jutting out. If he could reach it, use the current's own power to swing the Osprey. With the strength born of desperation, Kai rowed, his muscles burning, his every movement a fight against the relentless pull of the falls. Section 6, a lesson etched in courage. The Osprey, responding to Kai's desperate commands, slammed against the rock. He used the impact to his advantage, pivoting the boat, riding the current's crest away from the precipice. He steered with all his might, his heart pounding in his ears. He felt a surge of relief as the Osprey, battered but afloat, glided into calmer waters. He had cheated death, his courage and skill his only armor. The villagers, who had watched in terror and hope, erupted in cheers. They rushed to pull him ashore, their faces a mixture of relief and admonishment. Shaken but safe, Kai learned a valuable lesson that day. Vigilance, he realized, was not the absence of danger, but the constant awareness of it. It was a lesson etched not on paper, but on the canvas of his courage, framed by the roaring falls that almost claimed him.